So let's just do a little bit of house cleaning here. What I'm going to end up doing is in my source folder, I'm going to add a nav.js. I'm going to add a people.js. These are going to be my components. And I'm going to add a home.js. Very often, if you have a lot of these, you'll put these in a separate components folder. And I'm going to be kind of optimistic here that I can import nav from /nav, that I'm going to be able to import home from /home, and I'm going to be able to import people from /people. We'll do this one at a time here. Let's start with our nav. So let's get rid of this homemade connect here. And what I'm going to do here is that with my nav, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to take this, I'm going to cut this out, I'm going to put it into my nav, and I'm going to go back to my index, and here's my connected nav. Go back over here, and this is going to be export default nav. You always have to put in React in these files, or else you'll get an error. The JSX needs it. So we'll also have a couple of other things we're going to have to bring in here. Again, the disadvantage is that you have to add this stuff when you need it. The advantage is that these are modularized, and we're going to get link from React router DOM. Let's handle our other one. Here's our home component. And we'll go over here to home. This is the unconnected component. Again, we need to import React from React. And let's go over here. And here's our connected component. And this is what's going to end up getting exported. Export default home. And one thing that I forgot, since we're connecting, we also have to bring connect in here. Connect is coming from React Redux. And let's do people as well. We've got this really in one shot. So here's people. Put that in here. We know what we need. We're going to end up importing React from React. We know we're going to need connect from React Redux. And let's see if this build. So export default imported as people was not found. That's true. So one nice thing is you get some better error messages instead of the inline babble, which is really kind of worth the price of admission. And here, doesn't mean it's actually going to run. We might end up getting an error here. Let's take a quick look. And we do, and let's just take a look. It's telling us connect is not found. So even though it transpiled, if we go back to our nav component, again, we have an error message telling us where this is. So we'll go back here, and we'll import connect from React Redux. Here we run into a little bit of a different problem here. We don't have our add random person. And so what we're going to do is another thing that we should probably separate out is our store. Instead of our store being here, what we could do, we could import store from /store. And what I'm going to end up doing here is I'm going to take all this code related to the store. I'm going to create a store. This is lowercase because, again, this is not a component. I don't need to bring React in here. I am going to need to bring in import combine reducers and also create store from Redux. And I'm going to need to export default my store. And this is where we can decide what else we want to export from here. Let's also export, do a named export, add random person, because if we saw our error before here, we'll see that we have this error where random person is not defined in people. So one of the things that's commonly done is that if you have actions that are here that you're going to call, we're going to end up importing, this is a named import, add random person from, this is coming in from the store. It's a named import. And we're using it there. I think we're also using it on home. So let's get rid of that error as well. And now we should be back in business. So really a fair amount of refactoring that's done there. You could do that, try to do that a little bit at a time. But the real advantage here is that if we start looking at our index file, things are really getting separated out nicely. We've got our components that we're bringing in here. We've got our store that we're bringing in here. And all these are separate. It's going to make it a lot easier to maintain this application.